My dreams are over. Why did it happen to us? I was lying on the bed and choking with tears. Another girl was crying behind the wall. My newborn sister. Life is going to be hard from now on. I had been looking forward to her being born so much. I wanted to braid her hair and gossip about boys, hoped we could borrow each other's cosmetics and go shopping together. But now, none of it will probably happen. Hi, my name is Emma, and I'm 17 years old. My dad works as a cashier at a burger joint in downtown Dallas, and my mom is a housewife. Our family is completely ordinary. Well, except for this. I won the genetic lottery, which surprised my mother when I was a kid. Where did I get such hair? Seeing how gorgeous it was, she allowed me not to cut it, so I never had my hair done. It grew at an incredible speed. When I was 15, it already reached the floor. Look at how lovely it was. I was proud of it, and some people envied me. I often got called Rapunzel. Well, that was nonsense. I would never let some guy climb somewhere using my hair. I almost never put it up. So that happy day, I came down to have breakfast with my hair loose as usual. At the table, my mom told me the happy news. You're going to have a little sister soon, honey. I was so happy. I immediately came up with thousands of ideas. I'd seen my friends with their younger siblings teaching them to walk, talk, dress themselves. I had always wanted to have that. Now my dream was about to come true. I would post such cool photos with the baby. And if it was born with hair like mine, we would definitely conquer Instagram. I shared the news with my friends at school. They were very happy, and I couldn't stop smiling the whole day. But something just had to go wrong. I accidentally stepped on my hair in the school hallway, tumbled down the stairs, and hit my head hard. How humiliating. But even that wasn't all that important. Jumping to my feet, I immediately looked at my hair. Whew, it was fine. I would have never forgiven myself for ruining it. I went to a shopping center after school. I had saved up some money from lunches and decided to buy my sister, who would soon be born, a rose pink dress. When she was born and took her first steps wearing it, everyone would say, "What a sweetheart. What a princess." After buying the gift, I stopped for a minute to admire my reflection in the window. But then an elderly woman came up to me. "Honey, you could save people with your hair. Such curls can be sold for good money," the stranger told me. I laughed. Who said I wanted to sell my hair? Soon enough, it would make me a real celebrity. At that time, I couldn't even imagine it would really happen soon. The next day, I got a call from an unknown number. A man introduced himself as a marketer of a well-known beauty brand. He told me that he'd seen a photo of my hair on Instagram and, can you imagine, offered to make me the face of their company's new line of shampoos. I couldn't believe it. Could it really be happening? After all, I was an ordinary teenager, and the company offers serious money, $500 for a photo shoot. My parents allowed me to agree, and the very next day, I arrived for the first photo shoot. Makeup artists made me really pretty. Wardrobe assistants found a dress that showed off my figure, and the operator set up the lights so well that my hair shone like a Christmas tree. The filming crew showered me with compliments. I had never been so happy before. There it was, my purpose, to smile and please people with my beauty. 6 months flew by in such euphoria. There wasn't much work to do, but they really hadn't lied to me about the money. After a few shoots, I felt very rich. I gave the money I earned to my parents and, of course, didn't forget about my little sister. She was about to be born. My mother and I bought the best things in children's stores. A stroller, a crib, a bath, diapers. Everything was ready for the arrival of my new family member. All we needed was a rattle. That's what I went to buy that day. As I was waiting for the bus at the bus stop, I looked up and was so surprised I almost cried out. My photo was on a huge banner. I was holding a bottle of shampoo and smiling sweetly at passersby from the billboard. I was overcome with pride for my efforts. I put so much effort into caring for my hair, but what I saw next quickly ruined my mood. There was a small nondescript notice hanging at the bus stop. "We'll buy hair for good money. All funds will go to help special children." I got terribly angry at that piece of paper. They'd even hung it next to my photo, as if mocking me. The bus arrived. There were so many people inside, I barely managed to get in. A new challenge was waiting for me on the bus. A boy about 10 years old was mumbling something about pulling my hair. I told him to stop, but the child didn't seem to hear me. He started pulling it even more painfully. In the end, I couldn't stand it any longer. "That's enough!" I pulled my hair out of the child's hands. Acting like that with strangers was really too much. I went to the other end of the bus, but I could still hear the boy's mother apologizing to the passengers. She explained that her son had cerebral palsy. It was very hard for him to communicate with other people. At that moment, I felt awfully ashamed of myself. The boy had just been playing and I had yelled at him. I think I even blushed from embarrassment. My hair suddenly seemed to be outrageously terrible as I looked at it in the reflection of the window glass. I shouldn't have acted so badly because of it. I got off the bus at the next stop, even though it wasn't mine. A month passed since then, and I still couldn't forget that boy. I felt really bad. Other than that, everything was still fine. The company where I worked grew to like me more and more and cherished me. They'd even started paying me more for the shoots and hired 2 bodyguards for me, in case some envious woman tried to cut off my luxurious hair. All would have been lost then. They would have had to look for a new, long-haired model, and that would have been very difficult. At least until my little sister grew up. When she became an adult, she would be able to replace me on the set. The guards accompanied me everywhere, even during school breaks. However, my friends admitted that they did not like it and practically stopped hanging out with me. You can't imagine how lonely I felt, but I understood them. That was the prize of becoming a celebrity. After all, I was very close to becoming one. Soon, posters with my face would be seen in cities in other states. And after that, the company was planning on entering the international market. That's when everyone would start to recognize me on the street. But so far, only my peers did. One guy even asked me to take a selfie with him, and I agreed. Immediately after that meeting, my phone rang and my dad told me the happy news. I finally had a little sister. When my parents brought her home, I burst into tears with happiness. The baby was so pretty. Long eyelashes, huge blue eyes, cupid bow lips. I could only imagine how many boys would fall in love with her in 15 years. We named her Chloe. I'd come up with the name. It means blooming. I like spending time with my sister so much that the shoots took a back seat. I even had to refuse their offers a couple of times. I also gave up caring for my hair. I started to gather it more and more often into a bundle. It was really getting in the way while I was taking care of the baby. But 3 months passed and Chloe didn't change at all. She did not babble like other babies her age, couldn't hold her head up, smile, turn over. She only cried. When my friends came to visit, they were very surprised. Their brothers and sisters knew how to laugh at 3 months old. Nothing changed when she was 4 months. Chloe helplessly threw up her hands, ignored the rattles, and it seemed even our speech. In the end, I couldn't bear it any longer and asked my mother, "What's wrong with her? She's kinda weird." That's when my mother turned pale. She asked me to sit down and gently took my hand. What she said next divided my life into the before and after. Mom admitted that she had recently been to a doctor with Chloe. He had been monitoring my little sister's development since her birth, and now it had become clear to him. The girl had cerebral palsy. It's a serious disorder caused by the parts of the brain developing abnormally. People who have it can't move normally, talk, sometimes even think and perceive the world. This news made me feel like I was about to pass out. My mother tightened her grip on my hand. She explained that Chloe would be special her whole life. The damage to the nervous system couldn't be completely cured, but we could help her. She should be surrounded by special people, not only us, her family, but also a neurologist, a psychiatrist, a coordinator, a pediatrician, and other doctors. They would work with the baby so that in the future, she could live almost without any restrictions and adapt to society. But that rehabilitation was quite expensive, and we had little money. My dad was already working double shifts, and my mom would now have to be with Chloe every minute of the day. I spent the whole day crying. You can't imagine how much it hurt. I remembered the boy from the bus, who couldn't speak normally even at 10 years old. I was afraid that my sister would be the same. I wiped away my tears and walked determinedly to the company's office. Maybe they would let me work more. I could make a lot of money and help Chloe. At the bus stop, I suddenly saw the poster with my photo had been taken down. In its place now hung an ad for a dental clinic. Never mind, it didn't really matter. I would talk to my boss, and we would have photo shoots more often. But there was an unpleasant surprise waiting for me in the office. Excited, I ran to the set and saw another model there. The film crew was now paying compliments to that girl with perfect white hair and a radiant smile. While I had been spending time with my sister, the company had found a replacement for me. It hadn't been as difficult as they thought, and the contract with me had been suspended. I ran out of there and rushed to the toilet on the first floor. My heart was pounding my chest. Tears were welling up in my eyes, but I didn't cry. I looked in the mirror and suddenly realized how tired I was of my hair. Do you know what I did? I took a pair of scissors out of my school bag and cut it off. I didn't feel an ounce of doubt or sadness. Along with my hair, all of my fears seemed to go away. I realized that I had needed to do it, and other people had needed me to do it too. My mom helped me sell the hair. We got good money for it, enough for Chloe's rehabilitation. The exercises were starting to give the first results. The baby had learned to hold her head up, started to babble, and got interested in toys. And just imagine, a couple of weeks later, she smiled at me for the first time. I was over the moon. I know that Chloe will always be special, but she's lucky. She has us. We will do everything to help her enjoy life. I want as many people like her as possible to make conscious steps in life, to smile at their mothers, make friends, and in the future, families. That's why I've made probably the most important decision of my life. I will keep growing and selling my hair to help kids like my little sister, and I'm not afraid of losing it anymore.